Well, David and Jen, the camp we visited was within sight of a popular Springfield street.
We were able to capture a look into the lives of what our homeless men and women deal with every day.
We're doing all we can do just to get by to see tomorrow. I thank God every day. I'm not looking up from the ground.
For Shane and Roy,
Don't know what it's like.
these woods are home.
You know, we look after each other because that's all we got.
No privacy, no clean water, only a tent and some tarps, surrounded by mud and trees.
If I could change this, I'd change it.
Their world for more than 2 decades.
It's a struggle out here. You gotta wonder if you're gonna eat, what you're gonna eat.
This isn't the life they want.
We don't sit around panhandling, bud.
Circumstance brought them here.
Something nobody can explain, but something so tragic happened in your past, it kicks your ass every day the rest of your life, excuse my language.
It's a story not unlike many others on the streets.
You got a camera in your hand today and you make a good paycheck, brother. Tomorrow you could have no job, no home.
We visited Roy and Shane as they were clearing their camp.
There ain't no drugs out here. There ain't no chemicals out here.
They say police told them to leave.
Makes me sick. Makes me sick to even think about it.
Where are you guys gonna go now?
Good question.
In the sun and the rain, through winter and summer.
They're out here day and night.
It's pretty cold, ain't it, sweetie? No, this ain't nothing. Try 0 degrees, 10 degrees below zero, then you know what cold is.
A fight for survival.
I'm barely getting by and not hurting anyone.
You keep to yourself.
Yeah, this is the only way you're gonna survive out here.
On and off their tattered turf.
You can walk down the street here with a backpack on your back and you're a target. I don't feel safe nowhere I go. Been that way for 25 years.
It's a community all its own,
We're just trying to live.
apart from society.
Still, so close to home.
If it wasn't for some of the guys that live here, I know people right now that wouldn't be around, so they'd be dead.
Now, police tell us they work many death investigations in these camps. They say usually that's due to a mix of cold weather and alcohol. As for Shane and Roy, they say they do utilize shelters like Church of Christ and the Salvation Army for warm meals and a night away from the cold.
Tomorrow on Color 10 News at 6, we examine other angles of poverty here in Springfield. Hear from a man who decided to leave his homeless lifestyle behind and another who chooses to remain on the streets.
Yeah, Jen, last night we introduced you to Shane and Roy, 2 men who were told to clear out of their homeless camp.
Tonight, we meet a man who transitioned out of that lifestyle and another man who chooses to remain on the streets.
Even though the government says that the recession only lasted 18 months, it's still going on here in Springfield, Missouri.
Shelters are full, the need far-reaching.
I can't see where it has slowed down any.
And it knows no bounds, affecting families, children too.
The numbers are still high. We still have over 100 people on a waiting list, and probably a third to 40% of those people are children waiting to get into a homeless shelter, or ours or one of the other ones around town.
While shelters' waiting lists grow, for some in Springfield, there's hope.
It's time to get back in normal living in society again.
Monty Stetler lived in a homeless camp just weeks ago.
How does it make you feel to have your own place?
Great. Still getting used to it.
Before Community Partnership worked with Monty, a veteran, to get his own home, he spent all day and night out in the elements, except for the coldest nights when warming shelters provided a safe haven.
Everybody liked East Sunshine Church because they really made you feel at home and provided a lot of stuff for you and give you a nice warm place and took care of you really good.
He chose a new life. Others choose the streets.
This is my 4th year sleeping in this.
For Ron Goodman, being homeless is a choice.
I've never been very good with money, to tell you the truth. And I've never been a drinker and I've never done drugs, but I could always find a way to get behind with rent and utilities. I've done that all my life. And one thing about this, I don't have to worry about rent and utility, and that's kind of a relief for me, you know.
It's his freedom. Just himself and a van.
I've been in here with a 12 below. It beats sleeping on the ground or behind a dumpster.
But whether by choice or circumstance, addiction, a mental illness, or a criminal past.
I came on 20 years ago, and it seems as bad as now.
Our homeless neighbors remain a part of our community.
I don't know if I see it getting any worse or not. It seems like it's never gone away.
Tonight on Color 10 News at 10, a different look at poverty in the Ozarks.
Meet the struggling families who call Branson Motels home. David, you'd be surprised to know just how many families live in the motels that line Highway 76.
There are some groups helping, though. We rode along with one of them.
When they think of Branson, they think of the lights and the shows and so they see, money getting poured in, but they're not here when everything shuts down.
Branson's Highway 76 is lined by signs with flashing lights and famous faces.
We wanted a fresh start.
But it's also home to many struggling families.
There's a lot of families just like us. It's either the motels or living in your car.
Where might you be if it weren't for this place?
Well, I don't know.
It's a reality for a growing number of people in the musical city.
It seems like every day more and more are coming.
It'll break your heart sometimes, that's for sure.
Brian Stallings is the founder of Jesus Was Homeless, an organization that focuses on helping struggling families.
A lot of times folks that live in the motels are kind of the forgotten ones because you don't see them on the street, you don't see them under park benches, and so I think they just struggle.
Do you want to take a group?
He and volunteers deliver meals to people living in the motels on and off the Strip.
In 2009, we delivered 11,000 meals to 25 motels. In 2013, we delivered 52,000 meals to 22 motels.
For a long time, we depended on these Thursday night meals. They budgeted into their groceries. They're like, well, at least we got Thursday covered,
In Branson, jobs are hard to come by, especially when tourists aren't around.
That puts everybody in really difficult times, and that's not something that other parts of the region experience. They work year-round.
Living in one small room brings several challenges.
Is it tough having all of you in one room? What is that?
Yes, at times it is. It's very hard. Sometimes we just got to kind of kind of gets a little crowded.
It's just a very confined space. Your kitchen sink's your bathroom sink.
But the challenges of finding a permanent place are far worse.
You got to have like $2,000 to move into a place, which is kind of hard to come up with,
No matter their financial status.
These families say they're doing all they can to make it.
We are people just like they are. The only thing that we want is we're struggling and we just want to get back on our feet.
Jesus Was Homeless delivers about 900 of these sack lunch-style meals to the people living in these motels every Thursday.
The families we met tell us they're thankful for the help. They say it's become a vital part of the Branson community.